thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. As always, for our Wednesday show, we're going to go over some footage. What's up, homie? We're going to go over some footage from Monday. And, yeah, let's get into it. There we go. What's up, Pat?
What's going on, guys?
I think this was the first time that Baker and I have rolled first match or first round in a long time. We're both very dry and not tired yet, so it was a fun one. Got you and Danny.
Yeah, I hadn't rolled with Danny in a minute.
I know, I hadn't either. James looking for a dancing partner. Hey. Look away for 1 second. I think Joe took me down on this one. Goes in on a single. Yeah, just drives through. Kind of a run in the pipe. A lot of backwards pressure with his head. Danny wrenching you over by the face. Good to see James back on the mat. Sorry, go ahead.
No. He took it to me.
Yeah, first round Danny's always fun. And we got father and son death match to start off. Brandon and Kevin. What's up, James? Is that for your triumphant return to the mats, Josh? Post vacay. James, how did this round feel? Or how did just getting back onto the mat in general feel with your leg? See James elevating Cole, trying to get the sweep, gets it. Kevin getting a front headlock on Brandon, snapping him down to the mat, looking for go behind. Good. Now, Kevin, if you let's see. So you leave a little bit of a vulnerability here. I think your pops was giving you a chance to work. But right here, as you're stepping around to the back, Brandon can pick his arm up, block your hips, and put you right on your butt. There are plenty of instances. I think it's probably happened to all of us. But right here, what I'd like to see you do instead is block the elbows. It can be done with either this hand. It can be done with the knee. It could even be done with your head, but it's just it's a method of securing your go behind so that you don't get caught on the way around and then giving up an easy sweep. Sometimes speed doesn't win that battle, unfortunately. Can't base out, everything feels good. Good. Gavin on the Oma, Steven limp arming out. Danny tried it, didn't cut around.
Yeah, he had a lot of good pass attempts here, and he goes around to take my back here, I believe, and I'm hopping over. I like to do that where I pin that bottom arm, even though it's the strangle arm. I'm pinning the arm and immediately using my hips to hop over. Mm-hmm. He does a really good job of keeping that sticky left hook, so that I can't get an immediate leg threat. Then threatens with a darce. Again, turtle up. I'm looking for that strangle arm to pin. But he's opting to come around for a front headlock. But I'm playing butterfly half a lot more than I ever did before. And a lot because of this type of angle that I'm able to cut. So like as Danny's trying to pass my half guard, I kind of play like a very light um, inside leg, my right leg in this case. I play it very lazy. So I'm not necessarily here. I'm attacking for a leg, right? Like here I'm trying to extract his leg, but he's knee cutting across me. He's got a shin pin basically on my hamstring. I'm trying to go very deep on that leg and extract it, but he's not letting me have it. So I opt actually to go and grab his top arm in hopes that I can maybe throw him by a little bit and come up into the top position. He's not letting me do this, so I'm starting to get my hips out, and I start pinning his other arm. So I get a 2-on-1, and James, we talked about this actually later on this day, but I'm going 2-on-1 on Danny's left arm here, so that he can't base out.
It's a lot of that, like de Blas. It looked like you may have had an arm on his right arm.
Yeah.
But I think you probably had wrist control here with your bottom arm to his left arm.
Yeah, almost like a Russian tie from the bottom is kind of what I had.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to see for sure.
And then I'm using that left hook in order to give me some elevation and eventually getting the sweep to get back up on top.
Yeah. Braden 34.99. Thanks for the follow, man. Danny into an inside heel hook position. Not quite 50-50 because he has his leg inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he forced me to roll through.
Let's see that one more time. You don't really see that much. Typically, Danny would have this leg over on the outside into a 50-50 position.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got like, I don't know what you call that. I mean, it's an inside heel hook from like an inside. What would that be? It's like an inside.
It's
almost
a
an
Rimiashi
inside triangle. Yeah, it is. It is a Rimiashi. Yeah. I guess you don't see it too frequently because it doesn't work.
I mean, there's a lot of hip mobility that I have here.
Yeah.
That pass is straight out of Gordon's first passing instructional. I love this pass. This is my favorite thing to do from a Rimiashi when somebody, or single leg X guard. Pinning the legs down, going, down to the shin, down to the ankle if I can. And then I'm literally just stepping back with a nice wide step and using my left knee to drive into the hip, cut an angle, and get to the pass. And this is a very dangerous pass on somebody like Danny. Anybody who's been stuck in his triangle from north-south knows that it's risky, but I'm normally very diligent with my head placement to try and keep my head in his hip, so that way he can't elevate his hips and get me into a triangle threat.
Yeah. Number one pass. Yeah, there's something kind of special when you find your footing and your balance, and you could stand deep inside, like in between like legs in an inside position, or even over the body, kind of like you were with the Rimiashi threat, and not get off balance and just kind of hop around from one leg to the other, feeling comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good spot to be. Steven and the hobby. Got Gavin with Cole over here. And then you and James.
Yeah, James, and all the popping that happened during this match was on me, actually. No,
oh, nice.
That was good.
Joe with the same takedown on Danny that he had on me, but Danny's able to defend it better than I did.
Danny just is really quick with that underhook, because we saw this the last stream. I think. Not last stream, the 2 streams ago, last Wednesday.
Yeah, that left arm as it coming into underhook. Yeah, and what that's doing is it's preventing Joe from getting his knees down to the ground and establishing a top position. Now he's just stuck on a hip, and Danny's somewhat mobile. I mean, that leg isn't his yet. Now it is. A good sprawl though is gonna win against arms typically, especially against an immobilized opponent. I had a shoulder crunch on Kevin here, and it just, it didn't do it like hard, but definitely didn't dilly dally as it went over. And he's like, "You did that really fast." I'm like, yeah, man, I got stuff to do.
How do you say the guy's name that Steven's training with?
Nahabi.
Nahabi. Okay. Yeah, I'd never seen him train before. That is a deep darce.
Slipped his head out though.
It slipped it out, yeah. He only learns the hard way.
Hey man,
that's okay.
We all do.
So, don't we all? Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. New song. Just dropped. I hate you guys. He's trained for a while. He had a long layoff from a meniscus repair. You can see his right knee's braced up. He had, I forgot what they call it, like a bucket handle tear or like something like that, where his meniscus was just flapping in the breeze.
Damn.
So when he came for his intro class, that was his first time back to the mat in like a minute. Yeah, dude, that's my mixtape. 8 hours. I'm trying to see why Danny smacked Joe in the head here.
Because he kicked James in the head.
Oh yeah, I did.
Because
I watched that.
Danny kicked him in the head, and he smacked Joe.
Yeah, yeah. He said, "What the hell, man?" That was excellent. That was purple belt level deflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it on video, James. Got your back. It's Danny hurting people as usual. Everybody giving me shit because I got a couple cases lately. Danny's the OG. James on.
Yeah, he's coming back to claim.
Yeah. Y'all forgot about me.
Well.
James working the dorsal position here. Navi and Steven are having a nice little scramble. What did I miss here? Steven's in side control. Moving to knee on belly.
Oh, nice. He comes out the back door. That was good.
Yeah, and that's, like, I think a lot of times we think about this as a risky maneuver, what Nahabi's doing right now. Get out of the way. Bringing his arm under the leg. Now, if Steven was established in a mount, that would be ill-advised, especially if he had control over Nahabi's head. But right now, Steven's in this transition from knee on belly to mount. He's going to go in this direction. So Nahabi's taking advantage of this lighter leg on this side to kind of shuck Steven over as he tries to settle in and sneak out the back. And then he comes up on the back himself, which is really good. I like his knee position he gets in. Takes it out for some reason because he hasn't seen the back taking lesson that we've given about jamming that knee in.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. He likes the power half.
Oh, he wanted to dive in on that arm too.
Yeah, what is that? The Choi bar, I think is what that's called.
Yep.
Which is just an arm bar, but the entrance is a bit more unique than the standard arm bar entrances, hence the name. Some guy, I don't know, CHOI, Choi. Looks like Joe and Danny moved so as not to kick anybody anymore.
Joe's doing really good with that 2-on-1, and yeah, I knew he was gonna set up that single. Danny was kind of waiting on that for the triangle.
Yeah. Good sprawl, Steven. Nice. I was waiting for it. And even like, let's see. I mean, that's an arm in position. I don't think that counter that Nahabi was trying would end up going well for him, even if he managed to stay in a top position. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I think I tend to just go down to like turtle and then try to go in on a single from there, cutting my angle and coming around the side. Got Kevin on my back, doing his damnedest to strangle me out here. Look at Steven nicely picking the left uninjured leg to his standing guard break on, and then to straight ankle with less than 10 seconds left. What a sweetheart. I think Steven and I are on our feet for about 2 minutes here, which is about a minute and a half longer than it ever is with him. We got Troy over here on the side with Joe. Troy's one of our new students, former, I think he's got a wrestling background. Big old jack dude. Such a lame finish for a single leg. How did he even get the leg? I think I just scooped it, yeah, off the foot sweep.
Good attempt at the wings, like at a wing sweep. Yoko Sumigashi.
From Joe?
No, from Steven. When he went on that single leg, he threaded it in.
Oh, I guess I missed
to the far hamstring to get you elevated.
Oh, right here. Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, Josh. I haven't seen a single Pika from you yet. Pulling out all the
He
other
lost it
emojis.
again.
Yeah. Who else we got? Pablo and Brandon over by the TV. Let's see what Joe and Troy did over here. So Joe's in like a rear. He's in like a crucifix-esque position. Doesn't quite get the arm trap with the leg. Goes over for. All right. Leg scissor? Yeah.
Scissor.
Leg scissor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, core trap can be very powerful. Strong grip.
What, Pika? You know exactly what. I was so pissed. Look at Steven and I here. So Steven goes for a trip that I step out of.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had thought about it for like a split second, I could have just like pulled him to the ground. But he gets his feet back underneath him. And now we're 2 minutes in, and I'm like, all right, this is really getting old. Big elevation from Joe there. Did Joe almost do a Tomonagi, it looks like? Yeah? Yeah, gets the elevation. All right.
Yeah, that's the one, Josh.
This whole thing. I tried to do a Tomonagi and fail miserably. As usual, I don't think I've ever hit one that wasn't on a white belt smaller than me. Which Steven is definitely not.
Tsubame Gaishi.
Tsubame Geishi. Yeah. That's the one where Steven tried to foot sweep me. I stepped by it. And then could have countered him. That was Pinball brought that up forever ago. Never forgot it because I didn't know there was a name for it. How you doing, Pinball?
It's good to see you, man.
Dude, I want to be good at it. I love the look of it. I think it's super effective. Like, I've just never. I'm sure it has something to do with like where my hips land underneath my opponent, or me not getting them in Kazushi enough to like bring them over. I know I'm screwing up a simple mechanic of it, and I've never committed to working on it. I really should. That was fun. I was thinking a Minari roll, and then just like, it's like, you know what? Here's this leg. I got it. I'm just gonna keep it and crack him down. And then I spend the next 2 minutes on his back, unable to strangle him. I was really pulling out some tactics though. I was not being nice to Steven this round. Using a lot of like nose leverage to try to open his neck up. He was talking shit to me relentlessly, so I didn't feel too terrible about it. Pinball, if you know of any good like YouTube videos or coaches on YouTube who could like explain in the most like ELI 5 way to do one, that'd be helpful if you could point me to that. One of these days I'll work on it a bit more. Pablo. Oh, okay. I think Brandon's talking him through something. There we go, mounted triangle.
So Braden had me in like an elbow deep on my knee position here, right there.
Okay.
Right here. And Braden, I don't know if Braden or Gavin are watching, but in order for this to be effective, there's going to be there are two possibilities. The first possibility is for you to, I think this is going to be obvious for you guys, is to have a strong angle, right? So I would want to see you, post it up on your left knee, and kind of coming around my left side, right? So we would be facing the same direction, and you would have a very strong, deep connection with your shoulder and my hamstring, right? Kind of driving me up like with a single leg. The second would be that I would want to see you with shin to shin on me. So in this case, if you see your right leg is beyond my left leg, right? Out on the outside, wrapped around the outside. What I would want to see is that you are shin to shin with me, meaning that the front of your right leg is shin to shin with my left leg, right? And with the same elbow deep grip. And what that'll let you do is pull my knee towards your chest, elevate with your right leg up, and then you'll find yourself into a single leg X guard position, or an Orumi Ashi, which you eventually get into, right? Like we go down to the mat here. You're scooting out, which is good and fine, and then here you switch in. Oh no, you didn't. Okay, never mind. But you would go into an Orumi-Ashi position, and you would be in a very good offensive position. Instead of pulling me into close guard.
We should show them that that shin to shin single leg X entrance. Joe had a nice takedown here. Good example of getting an advantageous angle on your opponent. Again, Troy's no slouch with wrestling. So we could see Joe He's got Troy broken down here a little bit. That or Troy is his own posture is broken down. Maybe he's thinking about reaching in on a leg. Joe takes the opportunity, one, to avoid the oil check, and two, step behind Troy's right leg to trip him essentially, and then he uses a little backwards momentum, falling himself into the move, but also keeping this lat grip over the body to take Troy back, and then coming up into side control. And the good thing about those takedowns, when you cut your angle before getting to the ground, think like what Joe just did, anything where you can get, maybe you're trying to get behind your opponent but they stop you about halfway. If you win that takedown, you've already passed the guard. It's takedowns like inside trips and what else? I'm kind of blanking on some things right now. Anything you land on from the front, you're gonna end up having to fight against an open guard, maybe a closed guard. Not a terrible thing. You still get the takedown, but when you can cut your angle, get your takedown and your guard pass all at once, far better option to take. Oh, even Luke. Gavin and Joe, Steven and Ronnie. Battle of the busted knees. Battle of wounded knee. It writes itself. Cole's gonna blow his back out picking me up like this. I hope. Not warning him, I hope it happens. His shoulder's all messed up there, so I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Ooh, Steven. Nice. All right. This is interesting. So, variation on the typical lateral drop we see. Steven actually going for a closed grip around the back. Something you're probably going to see more frequently in Greco-Roman wrestling. Pinball, I don't know if there's a name for this. Let me know if there is. Yeah, that's a nice takedown. I mean, I just know it as basically a lateral drop, except that one didn't have the over-under grip. Yoko Otoshi. Okay. I mean, Troy's going to be he's going to be a force. He's just got to get some skill under his belt. That's all. He obviously has the power to put on some moves, and his endurance isn't bad either. His endurance is great. Side drop. Okay, yeah. Hobby opting to disengage there. Cole's in a comp prep mode right now, so I was really focusing on making it as impossible as I could for him to get an arm isolated, which kind of sucks. Like, it doesn't always lend itself well to escapes when you're just playing very defensive. So it was a constant trade-off here. I got the position I like to get, but I couldn't keep his leg bent. I'm trying to use my left leg to bend his right heel out away from his body and use that to like lever him over. Could not manage to get it on him though. have to point out that sweep you get on Luke.
It was like a few seconds in, but it's really tough, kind of hard to see.
We're gonna try anyway, because I want to see.
So I sit to guard. We start playing, but like his typical thing with me is a lot of pressure forward. And so, but he also puts his hands on my hips. He does really good. And so when he puts his hands on my hips, see how I get that, like the Tom double underhook? You know, like I get I guess in this case it would be my left hand is underneath his tricep, hooking onto his bicep, right? Like a nice deep underhook with my left hand. And then my right hand is actually, since he comes up and pins my hip, I grab his wrist and I pin it to my own hip. And then when he rushes in, I can scoop under, push down, and then elevate with my hook. And I can start tossing people like right over my shoulder.
Yeah. Earning some frequent flyer miles there, boy.
Yeah. So it's a fun throw to hit. You definitely have to time it. Like he's not one that's gonna rest. As soon as he goes down, I know he's gonna come back into me. So
right.
Like from a point standpoint, like I don't want to get back up because I know I'm gonna get taken back down. I just want to make sure that I'm ready to, to get my guard back, basically, in that situation.
I'm sure he was like low-key kind of happy for you because none of us ever tossed him around like that. He was like, I'm sure in his head he was like, all right. Anaconda from Gavin, where? Is that you, Braden?
No.
You got your own screen name now, dog.
What?
You guys getting old.
Man, get 13 and look what happens.
There's the Anaconda. So, yes, I agree. Nice Anaconda. I want to see your grip go to that rear naked grip, though. So this is good. You're putting on some pressure. You've got your gable grip. Great. Let's slide that arm up and then put your hand on your bicep and get the finish that way. It's going to be immensely tighter. Remember, this is the loosest grip. This is the next one. Wrist to wrist, elbow to elbow, rear naked choke. Those are the kind of hierarchy of tightness from loosest grip to tightest grip. You want to strangle somebody, use the tightest grip you can. Otherwise, good. I like the roll through on that. Let's look at it one more time. Looks like you go to gather the arm with your leg, but maybe you didn't need to. Maybe Joe kept it up high enough for you to actually get the strangle instead. It was good, really good. Just tighten that grip up.
I like it.
Where's your brother? Does he have a screen name?
There's the Walker twins.
Last thing I need is you two heckling us in here. Having your dad keep things in check is nicer. I'm gonna put you guys in timeout if you get sassy. Almost on the double. Damn.
Dude, I'm gonna make an excuse right now, which I don't normally do. But if the Brandons weren't rolling back there, I was gonna drive so hard. But I saw him coming like right over here. And I stop, and then Luke just freaking sprawls and shoves my face to the mat. I was like, damn it. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't have gotten it anyway, but I would have driven a little bit further before I stalled out.
Yeah. Good back take from Gavin.
Chris is in on a triangle on Danny, I believe.
Oh yeah, looks quite deep. There you go.
Now he is cutting a very good angle. Danny's got his shoulder pretty far.
There we go. Yeah, getting his hips up, trying to pull that across. it is.
There it is.
Nice. Really nice.
Diligent.
Yeah, and I think Chris can trust his legs there. Like his grip was very tight. I like that little move he did to get his hips. I think he pops it right here. He pops his hips up to try to clear. Danny makes it a little difficult for him, but that's the right idea. Just think he needs to trust that leg grip of his.
Danny's tough to triangle too. He normally does. He does a really good job of driving that shoulder all the way through. You know. Steven on the arm as Veronica's going for the leg. Steven falls on the arm.
Oh, interesting. So Ronnie, that's a great reason for you to not chill out here, right? You're on the single, you got to be working for that.
Yeah, this is crawling up the leg, right? So
way too static.
You'd be using your left leg to go high up onto the thigh, onto the left thigh, and then your right arm to come over top and attack the hips, and then crawl up the body to try and get to the back.
Yeah, and even if you didn't, I mean, like, if you didn't advance your grips up the leg, I at least want to see you, like, knee walking into him, you know? Like, powering through him, trying to get him off balance and reacting.
Go back to the defense, like, for me, Luke's defense here. As I'm starting to, so, like, my whole goal as I'm regarding and everything is to get, I need to make connections. Like, I need offensive grips on this guy, right? And so I'm spending all this time to get defensive and get him away from me. And then I'm coming in, and I think you'll see me. Yeah, so I'm getting up here, grabbing some 2-on-1s. I'm getting.
He's just clubbing you in the head.
He's clubbing me in the head, but wait. So now I'm coming in. That's the grip. That's the push to where he's got a full palm on my face as he's extending his arm away.
In all honesty, I mean, like, that's the this came up a few streams ago. So I think somebody, probably Steven, had like a body lock grip on me from standing and like hit a body fold on me or something. This is the grip I was talking about. That's typically how you want to get out of that. It's that hands to the chin and just shoving them back.
The Gracie self-defense from the front belt or bear hug. You know, like
100%. No reason it can't work from a seated and kneeling position.
Yeah.
TP attempt. Where did that happen? Was that? Oh yeah, that sucked. I remember this. So right here, Cole. I'm looking for the double undersweep, and rather than hanging his legs on me, Cole just squeezes my head extremely hard. The only problem with that, Cole. yeah, and like, I don't know. I have tapped to TP chokes, so I don't want Steven chiming in and bragging about it. I still don't have much faith in them as like a highly effective technique. Yes, they work. They're just kind of low percentage in my opinion. I would rather see you hanging your weight on me and trying to keep my arms from getting to a position that controls your hips to shut down the double underhook sweep. Unless you decide you want to really like refine your TP choke and get super good at it, which, you know, more power to you. Being able to shut down a double underpass would be a good thing to work on. Yeah, I've been trying to rip Joe's head off right at the last second. And now I'm trying to rip my head off.
Now Luke handles Troy and vice versa.
Yeah, Luke playing from a bottom side butterfly half guard.
Shoulder, yeah.
I would agree, Pinball. That's Steven's got that cake. We're gonna ignore the technical comment and go look at our training partner's butt. Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, you saw it right there with that attempt. As soon as I felt like I was safe, it was just a matter of putting Cole to his shoulders and then turning my ankle to get my head out. Which is, you're totally right. You've absolutely lost position at that point. Doesn't mean you can't regard and like frame the hips and all that stuff. It's a lot of effort though. Make him what look easy? Oh, are you talking about Luke making his half guard look easy?
Where'd they go? I missed. Are they off?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. Oh, they went.
Oh, they went to the back. They were.
Let's see what happens.
Running into others.
Shoulder crunch, taking him over. Definitely making that look easy. Yeah. And I've tried. I think I got Troy in a shoulder crunch the other day. The thing about wrestlers with that move is they're very nimble in like what I'll call a 4-point stance. It's not exactly a 4-point per se. I don't know yeah, like kind of where Troy is here with his he's on like the balls of his feet. If they can elevate their hips and jump around, I mean, any of you who have tried to do that to Steven, that's how he gets around it. He keeps his hips pretty elevated and manages to outmaneuver you before you can put him to his side. Wrestlers are pretty good about doing that. Luke has a little bit of height on his side here too, which definitely helps. I mean, technique aside, I think he can track Troy there a bit better than like I could or any other short guys.
Yeah, you need tension on their hips.
Yeah.
In order to pull that sweep off, especially from, like you're saying, like an athletic type of a person.
Let's look at Joe here against Chris. Kind of hitting a little sit out, almost like the Udigeishi, but a different grip. He doesn't, and yeah, I don't know if I'd call it an Udigeishi just because he doesn't quite get the knuckles behind the back and put that Kimura pressure on him.
It's on the wrong side of it, right? This is more of a sit out than it would be an Udigeishi.
Well, he's going to the right side. He just doesn't get his head all the way out. Like he's not sending his whole body out the side door, which is typically what you're going to see in like a no-gi version of the Udigeishi. Think about how Gary Tonin sits out from a guillotine.
I thought the Udigeishi would be on the side of the neck, not on the side of the arm.
So
the sit out is on the side of the arm.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I didn't. Good call. I didn't even think about that. So, yeah, I guess you would not call it an Udigeishi, but really, really good, effective sit out that gets Chris's head going down to the mat, and then Joe's able to put on some pressure on the hips, and get Chris turned over. That was really nice.
Yeah, Joe, did you have your hands connected with his? Like, did you have a grip? I'm just curious as to if he was capable of getting his arm out, or maybe he just like overcommitted to that grip and didn't think that he was going to get taken over.
Oh, meanwhile, Steven doing some good stuff too. So Joe bases with his right hand. So if he does have a grip,
yeah, it would be left hand to right arm.
Yeah. Is that the safest of sweeps with that headlock? Safe in what way? Safe as in most effective? Safe as in not hurting your training partner by getting his head cocked in a weird position when he hits the mat? What do you mean safe? Had a solid tricep grip. Okay.
Yeah, so you were locked in on his tricep.
Yeah.
Somehow. Okay.
And then
I don't know. I think I know what you mean.
Then we'll look to Steven just above them with Brandon. He's going in for his lateral drop here again. Steven's getting solid with those, man. Full turn into it, everything.
Yeah, so not hurting yourself from that sit out type of sweep. Yeah, I feel very good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only time that I have been reluctant to do a sit out like that is if I have like rotator cuff problems, right? Because when you're kind of giving it oomph, you have to really throw your shoulder into the mix, right, and send that left arm to the sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not at risk from getting strangled when you do the sit out looking in that direction. There's a couple of reasons why. The first is because in order for you to pull it off, your head has to either be in line with the belly, like right at the midline, or on the opposite side of the strangle in order for it to get pulled off, which means that there's no guillotine pressure at all when you're doing that, right? They can switch back to like a 10-finger or a 5-finger guillotine. But frankly, if you do this with, enough firepower behind it, they won't have time in order to pull that off. So, in order for that guillotine to actually give you pressure and strangle pressure, your head has to stay on the side of the strangle the entire time. So I would say it's very safe from a not hurting yourself perspective, and definitely from not getting strangled in a guillotine.
One caveat I'll throw into that, and this comes from personal experience. Training, the size discrepancy between you and your training partner will matter. If I go to hit this on like Luke or Caleb, and I don't manage to move them off to the side, I could put myself in kind of a precarious position, depending on how I like plant my my trailing arm, not the arm that's doing the push, where I'm sitting out, but the one that comes up underneath. How they may counter, where my head ends up. If it's someone around your size, you're going to be you'll proportionally move them. So if I was 250, I could move somebody else 250. If I'm 150, probably not going to move that 250-pound guy very effectively, depending on how he's based out. So in general, I'd say a sit-out's pretty damn safe.
Thinking at that pause.
Probably how late Chipotle is open or something. What pause? Let's see. Where'd he go? Oh, right here.
How dare they encroach on our space? That's what he's thinking.
Dude, every time I look in the mirror, I imagine a 250-pound jack version of me. Are you kidding me? In my head, I am 250 pounds jacked. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't
in reality
play nice with that.
Not so much.
For as much shit as I talk to you guys, you think I'd walk around like a 250-pound muscular guy. One go. Steven with the scissor choke. Another scissor strangle.
Yeah, we saw it today, Joe.
Hell yeah, dog. It was a bad bench day for me. Only got 250. Moving on. So Kevin here, right behind Mike. In on Pablo on a double leg. This is interesting. I wonder if he was just being nice about this or being safe. Like he pops down, or he pops up, goes back down. Pablo was in trouble there for a counter double. I think if Kevin had a bit more confidence in that, he probably could have really finished that. It was a great roll. Man, these guys are just trying to rip each other's heads off now.
Yeah, literally.
That was nice. It's fun when you get strong, light guys, like rock climbers or something. They could just throw each other around. Oh, look at Brandon in on a straight ankle. I feel like Gavin's bringing a little bit of wrestling to the jiu-jitsu mats now. So you see him getting behind me here. I start to 3-point or 4-point to get stable. He steps around, just kicks my leg right out, and drives me over.
That's solid.
Yeah, Brandon, you're probably a concussion saver there.
The regulator.
Kevin showed me his left shoulder. I don't think he needs any more medical attention. He's gotten enough. Man, the myth, the legend. 13. Ah, there he is. Thanks for the follow, Gavin. The man. The manlet. You need to be older than that to be a legend, but you're on your way. I purely took Gavin down to avoid hitting anybody there. I was like, oh, we're too close to everybody. Let's just pull him around this way. Oh, they're doing freestyle now? All right. That's awesome. Like I'm not very well versed in like some of the big differences between folk style and freestyle wrestling, but I know I love watching freestyle wrestling. Like the greats, seeing Olympic highlights and world championship highlights in freestyle it's next level.
I need to study that more. I haven't studied enough wrestling.
Follow like Flow Wrestling, follow Spladle City. There are probably a couple others that I follow, but they throw up some good highlights. Follow the wrestling subreddit.
Okay.
They post some really good highlights of like the best in the world. Let's give Pablo a little bit of credit here. So let's see. He's been on Kevin's back here for a minute. Fast forward a bit. So Pablo sets up transitions from it looks like he has a bottom side body triangle right now because they rolled. Just pretty uncomfortable. I wonder if he feels that. He switches up. Now Kevin's playing a dangerous game.
Elbowing the thigh.
Well, getting his top side arm close to the lock of the body triangle. Kevin, if you're watching, that's a good way to get your arm trapped against an opponent who really wants to trap your leg. Right now, Pablo's probably, there's blood in the water for him. He's trying to get closer to the strangle. So he's opting to probably pursue your neck more than the arm trap. Don't elbow like that. Because when you start elbowing, that means they get to elbow too. It's like if you guys grab my single digits, that means I get to grab your single digits. So keep that in mind. Really great work from Pablo, following him up. And Kevin's whipping him around here.
Yeah, and Pablo's just staying with it. That was really solid.
Yeah, he did. Kevin was unable to rotate through any of this.
Yeah.
And then even as I know what Kevin's thinking there, trying to like grab the head, throw him back down.
Yep.
It's just not going to work with that body triangle setup. So, Kevin, for you, when it comes time for it, whether that's now because you're curious about it or you just keep getting strangled from the back, figuring out how to undo a body triangle is a good skill technique to play around with and to study. So we could talk about that next time you're at class. Good job, Pablo. That was really nice. Body triangles are cheating because not everybody can do them, and I'm not happy about that either, Sean. Ooh, Kevin bringing it back now. Pablo goes for the double. Kevin hit a great sprawl. Now with 30 seconds left, he's got his own body triangle set up now.
Nice back take by Gavin too. Braden's over with Danny.
See if Kevin gets this. We'll look at Gavin's back take in a second. Oh, Pablo sneaks out. Pablo's able to rotate within the body triangle and upsets the strangle attempts. All right, so Gavin.
So there's a few things that I always get impressed with both Gavin and Braden, and and Gavin's really like exemplifying both of those things right now. What he did before, can you rewind just for a bit? He has you in side control, and you wind up getting your elbow down, and he does something really interesting. So, is it here? Yeah, here. So, like, for anybody who's like in the chat that knows how much I really like top pressure and top positioning and just kind of like little nuances on how to keep people down and pinned. Notice that like as soon as Gavin feels Matt get his right elbow down to the mat, he starts switching his hips. Like he immediately feels uncomfortable, even though nothing really has changed. Like Matt's not pushing on him. He's not really, like giving him a whole bunch of effort from the bottom, but he's like making incremental improvements, and Gavin's sensing that. And he's reacting like very sensitively to those movements. And so like that simple hip switch right there, and he's trying to get the elbow up, right? He knows that he's lost the underhook, and he's adjusting in order to try and maintain and continuously put pressure down on Matt. That in itself is like, that's just good, solid top game, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree. So now he's lost side control, but he opts to work from half guard. As always, we say it's just a great position to work your passes from. So he crushes my knees together, quick switch around to the outside, has a seatbelt grip set up. Nice. Yeah, that was solid.
So then now Braden on the right hand side, he hit a north-south choke on Danny a few, like maybe 20 seconds ago. Right. Yeah. So
kind of
he
off
comes
screen.
down. Yeah, he'll come in the screen here.
Brandon, the perfect spot to block it.
Yep. And he walks over. There we go.
go.
So he switches it up. Now, one thing that I want to call out specifically on this finish is where Braden's hips are. So a lot of people, like Marcelo really made the north-south choke what it kind of, like a very popular submission for people to start going for. But a lot of people struggle with this because there's a couple of things that you need to look for in order to get this finish. The first is what Marcelo calls out really well in his YouTube, instructionals and stuff, which is like the lat pressure. So, in this case, it would be Braden's right lat is pushing against Danny's left chin to try and get his head looking away from Braden. That's step number one, right? And arguably it's the hardest thing to do, because normally people are always going to try and direct their face into the strangle in order to alleviate the pressure. So that's the hardest thing. But in order to get the finish, another way to guard or to prevent the strangle is to tuck your chin into the armpit and turn your face in. So what Braden's doing here is you'll see him inching his hips away from Danny, like towards the crown of his head. And what that's doing is he's using his lat and armpit to drag Danny's chin up. Yeah, going that direction. And then that's putting on the strangle pressure. And this is what Marcelo talks about when he talks about dropping his hips down to the mat. That confused me for a really, really, really long time, because all I would try to do was try and like drive and sprawl out as far as I could in order to get the strangle. But what he's actually talking about is walking away from your partner and extending that chin up in order to get the strangle.
Yeah. Sean, I think you're talking about this position. Someone moves off that Kimura lock in the back. Yeah, that's we always refer to that as dorsal Kimura, ripping that off of John Danaher's nomenclature. Nice comment, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Pat.
That's why we have the soundboard that I didn't use last time. Give you a clap. But yeah, that dorsal Kimura position's I mean, I love that. That was really like, that blew open the Kimura as a whole system of attack for me when I first learned that. Kid in front looked like he was coming over for it. Oh, on me. Okay. Gavin. Oh, right, like maybe right here at the end. I mean, regardless, yeah, that totally agree. He could have. I was gonna say he's not in the position for the armbar, but yes, I'm only
crossbody ride would have been my choice there.
Shut up, Josh. I'm gonna put you in timeout. Whatever. Moving on. Yes, I am only 30.
I was gonna say you don't want to correct him on that one, do you?
Steven not having any of Luke's grips. Steven, I don't see you doing mercy grips with Luke. What's your hesitation there, bud? You're doing it with me. Brandon, so close. You got to drive through that knee, man. Kind of similar comment that I had for Ronnie earlier. As you drop in on this single, you're not going to get anywhere with these knees staying put. Got to really drive through your opponent. Even if he counters you there, with that additional motion in the equation, he's going to have to adjust as he tries to secure a counter grip on you, and you can make your transition as you need. But if you're just staying still and he gets to kind of control your head and then your head and arm and work his way around the back, that's how you end up in a bad spot. How did Troy get him to the ground here? Joe just
single.
Oh, good single, good outside trip.
Mm-hmm. Are you with Braden now?
Yeah. Yeah, Braden doing the Keisugatame reversal that I really like.
Love
bridging,
that.
Put the head to the mat and roll. You won't believe how light your opponent is when you can get their head to the mat and roll through Keisa like that.
I rely on Bertram showed me that.
Yeah.
When I was like a blue belt, and I was like, "This is magic."
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, you're just letting me do this to you. It's like,
yeah,
okay, go ahead and do it live. So not quite a kipping escape from Joe because he wasn't fully in mount, but similar concept. Framing the hips, pulling the knees in.
Was that a shoulder crunch or some sort of shoulder sweep?
Who are we looking at?
Joe and Troy.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a shoulder crunch.
Yeah, shoulder crunch.
Now you know how the rest of us feel when we roll with you.
Yeah. Remind me, Joe, I want to go over some more of the details of the shoulder crunch with you.
Gavin putting his own anaconda strangle to work here. Rolling towards the head side this time, which...
Yeah. I don't see that very often, but I don't know why.
Reason why is I have a base on that side. Yeah. I pull my arm in here just to like not put, one, let Braden do some work in getting the finish. I know these guys are trying to polish that move. Also not to just put any undue pressure on my shoulder, but Braden, you could probably see now why it's better to roll the other way where my arm is trapped and I can't base. So I want to see you rolling to the outside. Bring your head underneath my body. Lead with your head when you start that roll. But then as you end up getting to the finish here, though, There it is. You end up getting it with your leg, adjusting the grip. Good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we know that's you. I was there, dude. I know it was you.
Danny's just being wiry.
So Braden hit this on me like a couple weeks ago. I'm just not gonna stand for it anymore. But he gets this single, like this high crotch position. He just picks me up and dumps me. I'm like, no, not anymore. Danny just bullies you. I tried to avenge you, Brandon, but Danny dodged me that night.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
if you said when I was training, if you're still training, man, I mean, I tossed it out to some of you guys who aren't our students at the school, but you watch. If you have footage that you want to go over, you can send it to us. Yeah, you can send it to us.
Yeah.
We've gone over with one of our other regular viewers some of his footage. We're always happy to do it. It's nice to see some different games. So if you're whenever you get back on the mats, if you're taking a break or anything, keep us in mind. We'll happily check out some footage. And if only the rest of our students had the gratitude that Sean H has.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're spoiled now. They don't. You should hear how they talk to us. There's a reason there's no audio on these videos.
I mean, you see how they treat us.
Yeah. Gavin trying to dump, or Braden trying to dump me on my head. No more. Yeah. No more deadlifts for them ever.
Oh no, Josh found Pika again. You totally should.
You know where to go, man.
Yeah.
We're just a few feet away. There's just a little knee wall separating us.
That's it.
Pika has entered the chat. Oh, Brandon. You gave Danny a little too much space to work here. You're doing really good. You have the far side underhook established. This is a great opportunity for you to switch into knee on belly and make your transition to mount. I'm not sure what you were thinking, if maybe you wanted to like pull the arm up and maybe transition to that dorsal Kimura position, which if so, that's fine. A little better way to do that than bringing your chest this far away. Danny just had that well timed and snuck that leg in.
Yeah, Danaher teaches that from an escape from side control. And so Danny actually did. It was a really nice job. Some like I don't know if anybody's kind of like wondering how Danny pulled this off. But watch where Danny's hips go, right? So see how Danny is shooting his hips towards Brandon's head here. Like if he were to try to get his knee in and do the armbar from, you know, being hip to hip, I'll call it, it wouldn't really work. He wouldn't have the angle. But when he extends his body away, you can see he's got his left elbow in and putting a frame on Brandon's hip here. He's then going to use his right elbow to pin Brandon's wrist or elbow. At best, he's going to get his elbow. Worst, he's going to grab his wrist. Hikes his leg up over top of the head. I'd like to see the knee a little bit higher from Danny here. But nonetheless, it was a great shot up into that armbar.
Yeah.
I don't think he was really giving you a choice, Brandon. Honestly, like I think he was framing, and you were just gonna try and maneuver around or figure out where to go from there. I think he just got his frames in and gave a good extension to get away. I'm wondering if you're gonna hit the Kani Basami on him.
No, I thought about it the whole time.
Yeah.
For Brandon in this case, from here, I mean, there are a lot of ways he could handle this. Obviously, he's kind of done on the standard single leg finishes at this point. What Mike's referring to, if you guys don't know what Kani Basami is, it's just that scissor takedown, like the flying scissor takedown or whatever. Just a dangerous move to hit on somebody who doesn't necessarily know how to fall with it or anything. So I thought about it because my hand was on the mat and I could do it safely here, but there's no point. I think it would be a good idea though for Brandon to shuck my arm over. I don't have a whizzer here, so if he gave me a good shoulder push and made me plant my right hand to the mat, then he's on my back, and I'm in a lot more trouble at that point. I mean, at that point, I might be able to enter. I might be able to pull that leg because it would still be between my leg and his. But here, he doesn't have too many ways to finish this. I guess he could like pull my hips towards him and kind of sit through and try to toss me over in this direction.
A Tanya Toshi kind of.
I think that's what it would be.
If he puts his head in front and then sits down towards the.
Basically a sacrifice throw, yeah, taking me, towards the way his back's facing. That would be an option, but I also don't have the whizzer in, so like I could conceivably base unless you got real dynamic with it, and it just didn't matter. Okay, yeah, Tanya Toshi. Also a kind of a dangerous move, at least.
Both are banned in
some angles.
In Danaher's gym.
Yeah. I have tried to hit a Kani Basami in competition once. Grappling Industries allows it. I was losing the match. I'm like, you know what? Now's the time to go for it. So, didn't work out, but it's fun to try it live and not have to plant my hand and actually like go for it. Oh, we got Big Jordan sneaking in. I think he was on the side or in the back through most of the round, but he's on Luke's back right now. Don't worry, none of our students know it either.
Neither do I.
I have a random Japanese word generator that I use. No, it came from just my own curiosity and Mike's and learning some of the judo, the names that traditionally I guess come from judo or whichever. I forgot which sport grew out of the other, but. Yeah, if you're curious why we're talking about how dangerous Kani Basami is, you can just go on YouTube, look at, search BJJ flying scissor takedown or something like that. You'll see probably plenty of examples of people's knees getting blown out. There's a big reason why they don't let, typically, I think, like white, blue, and maybe even purple belts do it.
Yeah, Tanya Toshi, I had never really considered it to be a dangerous takedown until Danaher highlighted it. And then Caleb did it to me and about blew my knee out.
Yeah,
so
me too.
That was but before that I was kind of like, oh, it's not a big deal, like just do it nice and easy. And then you realize that sometimes you just have death matches and stuff gets out of control really quick. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's one that I don't
Joe Lozon, okay. Who's
I don't know that name.
He's you know him if you see him. He looks like I don't know, he's just bald. He's got like big piercing eyes. He's an MMA fighter out of like Boston.
Okay.
He's like old school. He's been around for a while, but he's got I think a pretty successful school up there. Pretty good. I think he's got like really good jiu-jitsu. I'm sure he's a black belt. Just best known for his MMA stuff. So big ups to Brandon for stepping in. He was about to leave, and Cole needed a dance partner here. Brandon said, "Oh, I'll keep you warm." And then Cole does this to him.
Hell yeah, that's a good training partner.
Yeah, good work on the arm triangle.
Oh really? I'll have to do that. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I think that's.
I imagine I know the result, but yeah.
Exact moment it was banned. Oh, okay, interesting. What are your thoughts, Pinball, on the banning of techniques in judo, like I think the Moroto Gari or double leg, or like those attacks that immediately go like one opponent's upper body attacking the lower body from a standing position. I feel like that caused a fuss when it happened, but I only heard about that secondhand. Luke with a triangle.
You don't really see him getting them too much
yeah, and off the kipping escape too. So Jordan is in mounts.
Yeah.
So not quite where you typically see kipping happen. Jordan's got a little bit of space between his chest and Luke's face here. I was just telling you guys yesterday when we went over it, you're usually going to use that when someone is smashing you chest to face. But Luke frames up the hips anyway. Jordan's posture's forward, and now you can see Luke keeping the frame, kind of kicking his legs a little bit. Not a huge kip, but creates enough space to just throw up a leg. Now Jordan's one of our newer students, so he hasn't practiced triangle escapes much yet. I haven't burned my black belt in protest. It's like made out of judos because it was given to me by an instructor. Ah, okay. Well, that's cool.
Can respect that.
Yeah. When was that change enacted? The banning of like double legs and stuff. I'm sure I could Google it later, but curious if you know. Cole getting fancy here, looking to break a knee. So Cole from a butterfly half-ish dives in on the leg. Interesting. Nice. Good entrance, man.
Very nice.
What was that sweep I got? Oh. Nothing special. Jordan really relying on this front headlock.
Looks like Caleb and Danny are having a war back there too.
Oh, they're all over the place. They're going full ADCC trials, not stopping when they go off the mats. Need Miguel here. I think Miguel was named head referee at for the next ADCC or next trials maybe. He posted about it.
He definitely had the best hair.
Yeah,
hands down.
Best hair in jiu-jitsu, period.
Yeah.
It's like jiu-jitsu Jason Momoa. 2009, after Mongolia won the Olympics with it. Head ref of the Americas. Got it. And if you guys are curious who we're talking about, we interviewed him way back before ADCC. Maybe back around July or August of last year.
Yeah, he's got a podcast called Tapping In. Yeah. If you haven't checked it out, you definitely should.
All right, dude. Fine, I'll go back. What'd I miss? All right, I missed you talking. Okay. Let's look at this real quick. Is Brandon getting a little too far forward here? Cole's got that hook in. Look at this little swim move that Cole does with his left arm and his cross shoulder post on Brandon's left arm. You can see his hand poking out here. Swims him by. gets the elevation. It's Cole, there's some really, really good leg lock leg lock entrances from there that you can play with. Like, I mean, right into cross ashi, not too far from another knee bar if you wanted to focus on that to play around with. That was nice. Yeah, pinball. I always thought that it was like maybe like the head of the whoever runs judo and like the rules, kind of trying to keep using that as an excuse to like keep the integrity of judo, because like they maybe saw the threat that basically any good wrestler could come in and just wreck people if they had like a good unstoppable double leg or whatever. That was my interpretation of it. I don't know if that's fair or not.
Yeah, so that gut wrench from the very beginning was pretty fun to watch.
From Cole?
From here.
Yeah.
Boop. Danny does a good job of trying to keep his balance.
That was a great adjustment.
Yeah.
Cole says, all right, cool, I'm going to use my legs instead.
Yep. Comes up here. I definitely, Cole, when somebody's doing this to you, like, you've got the arms, like, you've got long enough and strong enough arms. I want to see you go back in frames to where your left arm is reaching all the way through from, your left side all the way through to the left hip of Danny. And I want you using your shoulders to drive Danny that direction that Matt just pointed in. Cracking him down. Yeah. And, in that case, you would be sprawling back, trying to take that base away. You've got that leg hooked already, or I'm sorry, you've got his arm hooked with that leg. That is a perfect crackdown position for you.
I mean, you've seen me do it to like Caleb, and any other big guy. It's not a move that requires a lot of power. It's just control over the hips. Anytime someone is turtled up in front of you and like trying to attack your leg, it's a great opportunity to use that move. What does Troy do to Chris here? Oh, another lateral drop.
Yep.
Everybody's doing lateral drops now. Love it.
So you get back into this close guard. Okay.
Chris didn't mind being taken down though. He's on Troy's back, body triangle, gets the tap. I might be up there tomorrow, Cole. If you're training, I'll remind me. We could go over that. It's super simple. There's nothing special about it. It's just a good little technique to have in your back pocket. Ooh.
That was a nice,
very opportunistic
arm by Danny there.
Going late tonight. It's been really, really good matches tonight. I think we have this one and then 2 more rounds. So gonna need you guys to stop being as impressive.
Nice leg entrance, Cole.
Just lost the knee. That's why that didn't go your way.
Good adjustment there. I want to see you getting back up to your knees. I know it's late in the rounds and stuff, but chasing the back. If you're gonna get those deep underhooks on, I want you up on your knees to try and chase the back.
So I was doing a lot of leg riding with Brandon in our previous round, where I had this I had my knee through his legs, and he actually had a good idea here. During the live round, he tried to shoulder crunch me from that position, and I was like, that's not going to work at all. So we started talking about it a bit more and realized if you can, when someone's like forcing your knees down, let's see if I can get a good view of what I'm doing here. So my right knee is driving between Brandon's legs.
Mhm.
My right foot is staying behind the bottom leg. I'm not giving him outside ashi. If I step my
Mhm.
foot all the way through, he's in outside ashi. In this case, I'm just pinning and I've got my knees splitting his legs. So he goes for his shoulder crunch, and we realized if you can get your opponent's head to the mat and then you scissor your legs, you'll see Brandon do it here in a second. So put his head to the mat and then scissor your legs so that you can get your knees to the ground and you could start building hip height.
Mhm.
You've got a pretty decent reversal, I feel like, or a decent chance at a reversal, or at least an escape from that leg ride position, which can be pretty annoying. It's kind of like a half leg ride. Like I wasn't pinning both of his legs because he wasn't making it very easy for me to do. You can see me do it here. I get his head to the mat, knees down to the ground. Might be able. That was something I wanted to play around with a bit after we discovered that. Danny gets the arm triangle from half guard here. Damn, Cole, just about rolled up. I've been trying, as people get me in arm triangles and they go to transition completely to the side, when they make their transition, I've been trying to use my free arm posted on their hip to continue their, so they don't just land beside me. I like push them as they go to dismount and try to get them to roll and get my back off the mat and like roll up on them.
Hang on, from the arm triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right here is Danny dismounts. Like you could see Cole gets his hands.
Puts his hands up high.
Basically, like here, as Danny would dismount, I would try to do this, but I would have the hand on the hip to really cause some separation. I'm not gonna fully endorse that yet, just because I'm still playing with it and working on it. But I think it's a promising late stage escape that doesn't necessarily involve giving up your back. It's a way that Gordon likes to get out of those. It's one method he teaches is really turning away from it and giving up your back. I'd rather have somebody on my back than be strangled out. But I always feel like I'm pinned very effectively in that position, so I have trouble actually turning away and giving my back up even though I want to. Great counter from Troy on the guillotine, but didn't matter to Chris. Quick little inside trip
into the guillotine. Yeah. Me and Steven are having a technical battle between a body lock, his body lock attempts, and my trying to get into an offensive position from a body lock, and that doesn't go really well for me. But I'm getting better at staving off the body lock.
It's a lot of head control is how I handle it from Steven.
I came up for, I was going to try and be sneaky and try and come up to the back. And he beat me straight around.
Yeah.
We had a nice little scramble at the end here. Not able to regain guard. He winds up passing.
Excuse me. I think Cole and Joe have a death match this round. Good sprawling.
Yep.
Cole, I'd like to see you establishing hooks a bit more there. Like, so, or some lower body connection. This cross shoulder post. So as Cole tries to come to mount. Very nice. telling you, that cross shoulder post gets slept on. I have to correct you guys a lot to throw that in. Danny's just kicking the shit out of Troy's face.
Oh yeah, I think Troy gets him back here shortly though.
Yeah.
Me and Steven were drilling, and then we saw and felt it.
Troy actually just did the cross shoulder post from side control. Love how Cole's just like, I don't want you in north-south anymore. Here, go to side control, and he just moves Joe completely. Nice. It must have not felt really good for Joe to tap to that.
Yeah. Odd angle, but it seemed to work.
I love that grip though. I like that S grip right over the face to pull somebody out of that like reverse K-set position. It's a nice kind of you can make it pretty mean. It doesn't have to be, but it's a very difficult thing for them to address once the grip is fully locked. Oh, dude, I can't even imagine. You talking about the delts that hurt real bad that weren't functioning well that day? Those delts? So this is a cool grip. I really like this tricep grip that Cole takes here. Man, what happens here? I think Joe maybe reacts. Yeah, Joe reacts first. Yeah, if you think about, I mean, you're basically in an arm drag here, Cole, but your head's on the other side. But if you like took Joe's arm across and was able to hold it there and use your head to kind of take Joe down in this direction, that tricep grip is surprisingly effective.
So powerful.
Yeah, at shutting down base. I think Steven was showing us that one pin that a wrestler used that had that like cross body tricep grip coming off of a sprawl on a single leg attempt that the guy uses to pin his opponent. It was the first time I'd ever seen anything like it.
Did Troy already dump Danny?
No, I don't
That
think
had
so.
to have happened. No?
I mean, I didn't see it. Maybe it did.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it had to. I thought me and Steven were over there when it happened.
I do want to see it. Let's see Joe trying to get to a kip here, maybe, possibly. So Cole's putting to use that principle of if you want their arms, attack their neck or their face. Good kipping escape, Joe.
Very nice.
Got it. I wish you would turn back the other way though. So if you're coming out to his side like that, I need you turning in the other direction.
He's got his arm isolated though.
Oh, he does. He
Yeah.
does. Womp womp. Oh. Wait a minute. Knew I had a sound for that.
Which one was it? Or which one is it?
It was,
Or is it only on you?
oh, you didn't hear it?
No, I hear it. But
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Discord soundboard that they built in.
Oh.
Sorry,
okay.
I just want to see if we can
Because they
find
have like reactions
oh,
on Twitch now. React to moments on the stream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Troy picks him up, walks him to the back wall. Next round. So Danny or Steven had a rest round. Cole had a hard round. Cole definitely gets shoulder pads built into his rash guards. Just it's on Discord. It's not on Twitch. But you can email Discord support for it and see if they'll help you out. We're gonna fast forward through this one a little bit until we find some moments. See Joe and Jordan over there. You guys doing a lot of standing. There we go.
I think he wants a pulling guard. Yeah.
No, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. This is, this is comp prep. This is a tired round. It's good strategy. Good thing to work. Obviously, in comp, if you are super tired for whatever reason, just sit to guard. Establish your connection, sit to guard if you don't want to fight for the takedown. So Steven trying to get to north-south, being blocked, and then opting to go neon belly to mount instead. It was a nice transition. Do a high mount here, gathering up the arms. Knew it was gonna happen. That's one of the most disheartening things rolling with Cole. You get both arms trapped over his head, and you're like, yes, and he just goes, no. Neon abs. Have you ever seen the Don Jonaher Instagram?
Yeah.
They're always I love that they when like him and Henzo go to the club, it's the Neon Belly is the name of the club. So same thing for Cole. Oh, go ahead.
I haven't seen memes from that guy in a while.
Yeah, they've. I feel like he puts real work into them before he releases them, so it takes him a while. Cole, if you're gonna play this guard, this kind of goes back to what Mike was talking about with Braden earlier about shin on shin position. Something we can look at. Unless you're willing to like try to wrestle up from there.
Right. It really depends on you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Now this is good with the double undergrip and butterfly. You just want to get Steven extended back with that. That's where you're going to be able to hit sweeps.
And then when he gets your knees, your heels to your butt, that's clearly it's a bad spot for you to be in. So you're going to need to be reacting by putting his head on whichever side you feel is going to be your best bet, your strongest side to escape. I do love how you can just bridge, like it's not even a bridge, but just like throw your legs down and create enough space to get somebody off of you like that.
Yeah, it's annoying. As annoying as Steven is slippery. All right. Good stuff, man. Great rolls tonight,
Great
guys.
night.
Shin to shin good for single leg X daily. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know if you were watching earlier. We were talking about that with one of our other younger students. Definitely a good spot to get proficient at. I sucked at it for the longest time and like had a breakthrough probably within the last couple of months where it just felt more natural. It's all in how you like fall and pull the leg away. You can't just fall straight back. Because then you just get mounted. Like you have to kind of whip their leg out to the side and then come over with it. It's way better. You're cute, Josh. Thank you guys. Really, really appreciate it. Great chat tonight. We always appreciate that. Let's see. Thank you for all the recent follows. We had like 3 today, which granted it was 2 of our students, but love it anyway. Really, really appreciate the support. What else? 17 days until the competition. Thank you, Pat. The New Breed Charlotte competition, April 29th. I don't want to give a date for when the new spot will be open, but things are moving along really nicely there. So keep a lookout in your emails, and I'm sure Luke will be pretty vocal about it anyway. He's getting super excited, as are all of us. So yeah, a lot of great stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. What else? You got anything else?
No, I'm going to be running the stream on Sunday and next Wednesday, right? The next couple of streams.
Yeah.
I'll be running it alone, solo.
Yeah. So everybody treat Mike as poorly as you treat me when I'm
100%.
doing them solo.
Rag on me because it's probably not going to go well the first time or two.
Yeah. Be there to support. Make sure you guys tell him that you can't hear him, even if you can.
Even if you can. Yeah.
Mess with his head. Yeah, and keep rolling hard. Keep giving us some good footage. So we really appreciate it, guys. Follow us here if you haven't. Subscribe here if you can. Use your Twitch Prime. That helps us out quite a bit. It also helps us out if you go subscribe over at YouTube, where we'll post this for later. And what else? You could tip us over at coffee.com/MOBJJ if you like what you're hearing. And other than that, keep tuning in. For any of our non-students, get some footage together. Send it over to us. We'll be happy to go over it for you guys. In the meantime, go trim your nails and do your laundry. Don't be stinky. We'll see you guys later.
Later.